Hello YouTubers, and welcome to another opinion slash review. And today I have a much hyped pair of Bluetooth ANC earbuds, and these are the Denon Perl Pro. So I was looking for AirPods Pro replacements because I was getting fed up with the AirPods Pro 2 sound. You know, they're really good in many ways, but the sound and listening to music can get boring, especially on extended listens. So I went on a mission to find an alternative. And so I went online and I got the Denon Perl Pro. I got the Technics AZ80, and I've got the Sennheiser True Wireless Momentum 4 True Wireless, because these across the forums consistently rate really high for audio quality, which is something I appreciate a lot. So I've been putting them through the ropes, taking them to the gym, going on my bicycle for walks, etc., etc., basically just living with them. And now I think I'm ready to share my kind of a opinion slash review of of these items here. And today we're going to be focusing on the Denon Perl Pro. So, quality and feel. First of all, you know, they feel a bit plasticky. I'm not too fond of this case here, especially the shape of it. I mean, this is a bit of a gripe I have with everybody. I think Samsung actually does it well as well, which is, why isn't anybody else realizing that Apple's nailed it with their AirPods Pro? Because this is a case that you can put in your jeans pocket, take out, got the round edges, the material is nice and slippery, so you can put it in and out. It's easy to live with, right? This is, you put it in your pocket just as you put your keys, and you forget about it. So if you need them, they're there. So you carry them around all the time. Now, with a case like the Denon, you won't be doing that. And I don't know what the demographics is, but most males don't carry a man bag with them or a backpack at all times. So it'd be really interesting to that these actually fitted in your jeans pocket. Why aren't people thinking about this? These are not the worst offenders. I think the Sennheisers are the worst offenders. I mean, come on, look at this. This is a huge thing. The techniques are actually pretty good. Not as good as the AirPods Pro, but you can actually put these in your pocket. So that's my first kind of gripe with the why this shape. I mean, it looks nice, but why? In terms of the construction, I think feels a little bit plastic. It's got a rubber sleeve at the top here, and I think that's quite nice, and it stops kind of a vibration and noise, I guess, when the lid is closed. Not too sure about the quality of this hinge here, and this is another gripe I have with everybody, because Apple has a metal hinge there, so this thing is solid, but everybody else forgets that you're going to carry this in your pocket. Actually, when you're not going to carry this in your pocket, so maybe it's okay. But like, these are all plastic, and I'm not sure after 200 million times of opening, or if you carry this in your pocket and it's doing that movement all the time, you know, if this is not going to break there. But also these feel a little bit flimsy, you know, like at the top there. So that's that. Where I have more of a gripe with this isn't so much like any of that. It's just like, the first thing you notice is how hard it is to take them out of the case. They got like this circular shape here, so they're quite wide, so they make the case rather wide. And then it's quite tricky to take them out of the case, so you have to really kind of try. Then once you take them out, you realize that the surface where you're holding is like this metal ring here, and it's super slippery. So, hello, you know, like, you know, I've dropped these already, you know, so I think it's just a bad design. I don't know what they had in mind, you know, but they were certainly not ergonomics. And going to the bud here, the bud feels okay, it feels nice, it feels solid, it feels good quality. As I say, it's got this metal ring here, which looks nice, but it's actually quite slippery. It's got a sleeve here, a rubber sleeve that attaches to your ear, and it comes with a bunch of other sleeves here for changing to different ear sizes. The ear tips are average. Okay, I didn't have irritation or anything from them. A thing that I found quite interesting is that the earpiece here, or the part that goes into your ear, is actually oval. And that reminds me of the ICO OS7s, which I've had for many years, which are oval as well, because the ear canal is not round, it's oval. So that's a quite a neat feature there. Although the ear tips are still round, so they didn't make like oval ear tips for this. They said like, no, that's too much. But you know, they do fit there. So all in all, it's a really weird design, you know, like, and when you put them on, this is my biggest gripe, is that like, not only they look huge, although you know what, I think they went for this design because it's kind of like different from everything else, and they just really wanted to stand out. They didn't go for it for ergonomics or fit or anything like that, I don't think. It's the balance is a little bit off. Okay, the rubber thing attaches there, but the balance is a little bit off, and it's not like they're gonna fall or anything, but it just doesn't feel like, you know, as kind of a secure. Actually, you know, they're pretty secure, but you know, because of the big disc here, I don't know what's exactly inside this disc here. Is it a battery? Why did I have to do it like this? Anyway, so that's my 2 cents. So quality-wise, they feel okay. They don't feel anything special or premium. The metal ring does make them feel a little bit more premium to the touch, but at the expense of making it very slippery. So I'm not sure the trade-off is worth it there. So yeah, so quality and feel, that's how I feel. In terms of usability, I'm going to mention this, and I just discovered this now. See these LED lights here? So one is one bud, the other bud, and then the case. So that's, I think that's quite an interesting feature there. So well done there. So yeah, so quite interesting. So in terms of ANC, there's many options. It's either on or off. There's no slider to adjust the quantity of it. Transparency is okay. The app, all these things come with an app. You got an equalizer there, you got a bunch of other settings on there. But the most interesting feature is like a personalization feature. So these guys are owned, or Denon is owned, and Marantz and some others are owned by this company called Maximo, and I think they do like healthcare stuff. So one of the things that they are trying to do is implement some of that technology into the earbuds and stuff. So you put the earbuds on and you get asked if you want to personalize your sound, and then it measures your ear canal and adjusts the frequency response to maximize sound quality. And if you buy these, you want to do that because the stock sound isn't great. But once you do that personalization, the stock sound becomes a little bit, quite a substantial bit better. So yeah, you really want to go through that as well. Now, the gripe I have with that is it feels to me like a bit of a gimmick, right? So I'm not sure exactly how much is it actually reading from your ear canal. With the microphones and stuff, I think it does that. To be fair, on the earpiece, as you look at the oval part, I'm going to show you again. It does seem to have some piece of something in here, and I'm not sure if that might be part of that personalization thing. So yeah, it does work. It does make the sound a lot better. Yes. So if you get these, you probably want to be doing that. In terms of controls, you use these pads here. They're very responsive, and I like the sounds that they make when you press. They're quite lower frequency, so you almost feel the buds vibrating with the when you touch them. So typical kind of like touch control thing. No issues there. They're quite sensitive and stuff. The fit, as I mentioned previously, it's it's okay. It's not the greatest fit, and they look a little bit weird on your ears. In terms of sound, as I say, okay, so now you got these. You went through the personalization, and I've done like 3 different ones, and I've tried them all, and they're all better than the stock sound. And the sound is that kind of sound that um, impresses you. So on an initial kind of like listen, you put them on, and you kind of like, whoa, wow, okay, this sounds good, right? So the bass is punchy, you know, the sound is big. You can hear little things and stuff. The detail is there. There's a lot of detail on the mid range and the vocals. So you kind of like that sound that on an initial kind of listen, you kind of like go, yes, this sounds really good. However, after you get used to that, after you go past that initial kind of a wow factor, you realize that there are some things missing. For one, the sound feels a little bit distant, you know, so it's not involving, so you're not in the music, right? So it's like you're listening to music at the back, you know, of the concert room, so you're not in with the music, and that's, to me, the biggest problem here. And also there's a spiciness to the lower treble and or high mids, in that some of the vocals can be a little bit how do you say, spicy up the top, you know, like and yeah, so, and I think they do that to sort of like make the sound a little bit more alive and things. So my conclusion is that I think a lot of the quality of the sound here is because you got 2 components to sound. One is like in the device like this, it's is just the hardware, how good the hardware is, you know, the vibration and the materials and the magnets and all this kind of stuff. The other one is like the digital enhancements that they put on, and of course all these earbuds have got some sort of digital kind of enhancement going on. This is how sound happens in these things. But I think my guess on the Denons is that that's the majority of the sound that has that wow factor is coming from that digital processing rather than the hardware. And I might be wrong on this, but that's how I feel about it. For example, the Technics AZ80, you don't have to go through any of those gimmicks. I think the hardware on here is really, really good. The Momentum Force, I think there's a lot of the management, digital management as well. Although I think the hardware here is better, and why do I think the hardware here isn't good? Well, because of that spiciness at the top, and lack of texture to the sound sometimes. You know, like I think that's what I'm feeling from it, which is at odds with what a lot of people are saying online. I get that, but that's just my impression of this. You know, like if I had to put it in a way, a more simple way, it's like I find myself listening to music on this and skipping a lot more tracks, right? So sometimes I'm listening to music or testing, and I feel like, no, I don't want to listen to this track. I don't want to listen to the track, and I'm kind of skipping. But if I put the Technics AZ80 on, I'm not skipping those tracks because it makes me want to listen to music, right? So this is a playlist of tracks that I like already. So that's kind of the difference. With the Technics AZ80, I just want to listen to music more and more, and I'm feel engaged and part of it. With the Denons, despite all the kind of a wow factor and all the things that are going on, I just don't feel engaged with the music. It feels like it's a little bit pushed back. It's a little bit kind of like somewhere out there, but I'm not in it kind of situation. And I think that's to do with maybe it's a transient response. I think there's a lack of dynamics and punch, right? It's all very nice and resolved, but there's a lot of processing going on, I think. So I'm not feeling that kind of a raw kind of like engagement with the sound when I listen to the Denons. And I just wanted to also mention like the voice on here for all the commands and stuff. When you put them on, it says welcome back, It's a little bit annoying, you know, like the interaction with it from that aspect. The momentum forwards have a much better kind of a experience there. So do the techniques. So there's a little bit of a few added factors. So the sound isn't really cutting it for me, although there's that wow factor, which I think a lot of people are homing on. Then the ergonomics isn't quite right. The case isn't super portable. The ANC is average. So, you know, I would forgive all of that if the sound was like that juicy sound that you want to listen to all the time. But unfortunately, it's not. So I'm not saying it's bad. I think it's really good, and you might actually like it or prefer it to other sound signatures. But for me, being this together with, you know, especially with the Technics AZ80, I was just not getting the same level of rhythm and engagement and kind of connection with the music. So that's my opinion / review of the Denon Perl Pro. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you to my subscribers, 350 plus and counting. If you like always helps. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you around.